Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, ATS seeks legal opinion on dividends paid to ETSET. Heavy rain causes flash flooding in the Western Division. And tender awarded to remove sunken vessel.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
The Air Terminal Services Board will be seeking legal opinions on the missing $5.2 million dividend that was paid to ETSET for its beneficiaries. Board Chair Riyaz Said Qayyum today confirmed there's a possibility of reporting this matter to FICAC, the police, and even calling for a national inquiry through Parliament. Kelly Vadala reports.
ATS Board Chair today has set the record straight on claims made by unions about non-payment of dividends to ETSET.
Claim is not only a blatant lie, but also requires an investigation of the highest order because more than $5 million of ATS staff money is today unaccounted for. It was only after ATS clarified the union claims about lack of dividends since 2005 did the whole country know that something very fishy was going on at ETSET.
Riyaz Said Qayyum says the recent media statements by ETSET General Secretary Vili Finau on dividends is false.
Last Friday, ETSET Secretary Mr. Vili Finau categorically told the media that the only dividend ETSET had received for its beneficiaries was around $556,000 received last year, received in 2016. We at ATS deny this, and we're still adamant that more than $5.7 million in dividends has been received by ETSET on behalf of the beneficiary ATS staff since 2005.
He says the very politicians and unionists such as Felix Anthony who have encouraged and cajoled striking ATS workers to continue with their illegal actions have now very conspicuously sidestepped and evaded the issue of the missing workers' money.
Where is the money? The continued politicization of the ATS issue must not distract us from seeking public accountability. These dividends were for the workers, and ironically, the marches yesterday in protest of better conditions and pay were calling for just that. It's shocking that even after not being able to account for such a large sum of money, FASA Secretary Mr. Vili Finau is seemingly sweeping this missing $5.2 million issue under the carpet and is refusing to comment further on this.
Said Qayyum has called on the striking ATS workers to ask for an inquiry into this matter.
In the meantime, there is nothing stopping the workers who are the beneficiaries of ETSET from immediately demanding for a police inquiry into this most scandalous of affairs and to put to task their officials and political supporters in order to find out what happened to their $5.2 million. They must do so for themselves and their families. They must rightfully demand what is theirs.
Meanwhile, the ATS chair also says the claims about no pay increases is an outright lie, as they have ample evidence of pay increases of many staff. In terms of COLA not being paid out for several years, Said Qayyum says it has been an ongoing issue because the unions have not been willing to negotiate in good faith. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, despite the Fiji Trades Union Congress march in Nandi yesterday, the offer for striking ATS workers to return to work still stands. The ATS management says these workers still have a chance of returning to work as they have been manipulated by politicians who are just using them for political gain.
It is a rally for politicians. It is trying to rebel-rouse, and we are saying leave the poor and innocent workers alone. Do not manipulate them and call them back to work. And we want them back at work. I mean, the offer is still open, and the letter is very clear. Come back to work. We want them back at work.
The ATS chair also confirmed that more workers have returned to work after signing the letter accepting they had done wrong by illegally walking off their jobs.
Workers who have gone back stand at 31. One of them, interestingly, is a FASA official. And he is, from what we believe, is encouraging people who are still outside to come back to work.
trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain remains slow-moving over the Fiji group. Continuous heavy rain has caused flash flooding in some parts of the Western Division. In Raki, low-lying areas including Alawe, Mari and Nokonoko are under 3 feet water. Rawasa Mid Road is closed to all traffic now. In Tavua, parts of Tavua town is underwater. Matadawa Bridge, Yalandro Flat and Balata Flat are also underwater. The water level is rising on Yasi Bridge and Nandolo Bridge. There has been continuous heavy rain in Vatukola from this morning, but no reports of flooding as yet. In Ba, Vatulaulau Road, Namosau Bridge, Rarawai Bridge and Ravi Post are under floodwaters. Kings Road, Yalalevu is half closed. Tuvu and Maururu Bridge are unsafe for travel as well. Heavy rain also continues in Lautoka, Tavakumbu Road near the Girmit Centre, and Drasa Avenue, Bombua Road, Nekambula Junction, Phil 40 Junction, Vomo Street opposite Leonidas Street and Matawalu Bridge are also flooded. In Nandi, water level at Navo Bridge and Gelelo Bridge is rising. Police officers have been deployed to assess these areas.
We are urging members of the community at large, especially those near the riverbanks and also in the low-lying areas, if you can make your way up to higher grounds as the weather is not favorable enough. And our police officers are going around. We continue to see people, especially the young ones, our children, playing around in rivers and the riverbanks and also on the main roads. We are just urging parents and guardians, if you can look after your children.
Students who are yet to register for their new e-transport cards or top up their cards can do so at their respective schools for the next 2 days. Education Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says they have also made arrangements with bus companies to allow those students who do not have e-cards to travel without the cards for at least 2 weeks.
The ministry is deploying 23 roving teams that will be able to assist. So we urge all parents that if you still have not registered your child and you're eligible, please go to the school with your child tomorrow on the first day. If you're not done so, fill out the forms and they'll be given the cards either that same day or in the next couple of days thereafter.
Meanwhile, Said Qayyum has clarified that no teacher will receive a pay decrease.
All school teachers who are re-engaged will be done so at a higher pay rate than they would have received prior to the job evaluation exercise, and equally important, they, along with the new graduates, will have greater opportunities for higher pay based on their performance. And that assessment, of course, will be carried out within the first year. So apart from the fact you've received a new pay rise, you will also be able to receive further pay rises upon assessment within the first year. New contracts that are being issued by the Ministry of Education are totally dependent on the result of the teachers' evaluations, and that pay will be supplemented by additional performance-based payments later in the year.
The tender of removing the sunken Southern Phoenix container vessel from the Suva harbour has been awarded. This was confirmed by MSEF CEO John Tunindao after the question was being raised during a Talanoa session with the Prime Minister in Suva earlier this week. Ali Kimbia has more.
After 6 months of sinking in the Suva harbour, the Southern Phoenix will soon be removed.
Even for the Phoenix that is lying here, it is already under final tendering process, really. It's been awarded. So you will be soon seeing the contractors to be working on this container ship that is right beside the wharf.
Prime Minister Borenge Bainimarama then demanded an explanation from MSEF on the removal of the vessel.
The contractors that are going to take these wrecks away, does that also, are the other wrecks included in that? Yes, sir.
MSEF Manager Compliance Philip Hill has assured Bainimarama that work will start in the next few weeks.
A few more documents and then the contractors will be in country. It will take them about 3 months to remove that wreck.
The Fiji Ports Authority is looking at the possibility of using the same contractor to remove all ship records from the Suva harbour. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, fines issued for failing to comply with e-ticketing regulations. And in tonight's successful Fijian segment, we look at the journey of soccer enthusiasts. Stay with us.
Bula, Keron mai singatoka, Keron do talita kana varorong na radio Fijian and domoy viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasong sekolah untuk talita kana radio Fijian kena domoy viti.
Kaya kuya zo silil tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita jadi ang gitu pinasawale, nagudurong barong na radio Fijian nandomoy viti.
Na radio Fijian nandomoy viti na bonga ni BNN.
The Land Transport Authority has to date issued 48 traffic infringement notices to passengers, bus drivers and bus companies for failing to comply with the electronic fare ticketing regulation. Board Chair Vijay Maharaj says 21 passengers were fined $25 each for using inappropriate cards or not paying fares. Maharaj says 14 drivers were fined $25 each for allowing passengers to use inappropriate cards to travel without paying fares, whereas 13 bus drivers were fined $1,000 each for collecting cash. The LTA has fined 24 bus companies $500 each for not having disposable cards in their buses and collecting cash.
If they continue to violate the law, then actually we will do is to do what we call show cause. We can call them to the Land Transport Authority and actually put in their procedures, and we will ask them why their license should not be cancelled, because they're habitual violators, and that is something that is in the pipeline.
The Fiji Police Force is using music as a means to strengthen their relationship with communities. The Fiji Police Band and Jazz Band was in the Natewa Bay area in the Kandrove Vanuatu in the last 3 days doing exactly that. Eleanor Tarangeview reports.
It's the first time there's a display of this sort in this part of Vanuatu. The Fiji Police Band strutting their staff in the hopes of winning over communities in the Natewa area.
In the Ndopata concept, we have 5 pillars of policing the nation, and one of them is through music. So we decided to use this music because it attracts a lot of people.
The Natewa area is part of the Golden Triangle, a triangular zone of areas well known for the cultivation of marijuana. Too often, the villages' encounters with police either have to do with arrests or raids. This time around, it's different.
So music, it opens up the heart of the people, as you can see today. And it breaks all the barriers that we have between us, police and the community. When we do that, it's easier to work with them.
In the last 3 days, the band has been visiting villages in 7 districts in the Kandrove province, bridging the divide between police and the people.
My village is in the red zone area. When you mention Lower Village, people associate it with marijuana cultivation. The visit by the band today encourages us about the importance of our relationship with police.
So it's about reclaiming the Golden Triangle again and make it safe.
This is the first time this initiative is being brought to Vanuatu. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC News.
Studies on the Tamavuai Bridge in Lami is currently underway before any decisions on upgrade work will be made. Fiji Roads Authority Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says they are working on getting a new design for the bridge. Moore says they will only be able to determine the scope of work through technical studies.
We've got crews out there now doing geotechnical studies. Because of the issue over the ground conditions and the soft ground and the mud, we have to do proper in-depth studies, otherwise the bridge will sink. So we've had crews out there for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we're aiming to get the bridge in place around about Q3 this year.
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. These words kept 46-year-old Munaf Basha moving forward after he lost his parents right after getting his big break in officiating a football tournament overseas. In tonight's Successful Fijian, we take a look at how Basha became the man he is by helping others achieve their dreams. Eroni Tuinuku with the story.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Being the eldest in the family came with responsibility and opportunities in trying to impress the only person in the family who was his mentor, role model, teacher and father.
We were a total of 4 brothers. I'm the eldest of 4. My father was a school teacher. very strict, disciplined man, and he instilled values in us.
Basha volunteered to leave school at the age of 19 to help his father support the family, since his mother was at home looking after the house and his brothers continuing with their education.
I started as a customer service officer, then rose through the ranks. In year 2000, I was transferred to Suva at the Regional Operations Center in Suva.
2013 wasn't easy for Basha, as he lost all hope, giving up on everything.
Losing father and mother within a span of 1 year was quite difficult to cope up. Then virtually I was out of employment for 4 years.
The 46-year-old then looked back at his achievements and struggles and confided himself that every difficulty lies opportunity.
And I was honored to introduce 2 lady referees in Fiji soccer, Finau Vuli, who has done so well. 2 World Cups just recently, under 17 and under 20. And Shannon Mosicek, she was a Peace Corps at St. Vincent's College. So those 2 are first lady referees in Fiji. And I'm proud that I was the one very influential and mentored them and taught them a lot of basics, and they progressed really well.
The struggles and sacrifice Basha went through finally paid off after 8 months of employment with Motibai that boosted his interest in opening a business.
On 1st January, I started this Railway Minimart. There are as I said earlier, there are 210 fresh, total of approx 350 to 400 people around this perimeter. And at the moment, I am very happy with the support and with the sales.
The Railway Minimart has been a relief for the 240 tenants that live around the area, but Basha hopes to expand his business to a bakery when the time is right. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Ahead in sports, Nandi and Suva make a winning start in VPL. And Suva claim the 10th competition. Stay with us.
Moala rarada ranalika, au tikongona taunu singatoka, andou talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora chubuni kurnambili, ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
The Nandi football side opened its Vodafone Premier League in style, thumping Bar 3-1 at Prince Charles Park. Striker Napoleoni Ngasimbakitini scored a brace of goals in the game, while Ame Votaniu managed to get a goal.
As Nandi come into attack again. Rusia de Matararenga with a shot. Tapped away into the path, and following through is Gasevakatini, and Tonetani Newa not able to clear it. And as I said, in the 40th minute of play, these two have been having shots at the bar goal mouth, and they come once again on that far side. Rusia de Matararenga comes in, cut through, and Gasevakatini. Patrick Senevalati, long through pass. Ame Vutunui covers, mistimes it. Nambenia turns and pulls one back for the bar side. Napoleon Ingasevakatini, a short one, Rakula, and mistimed again, following through Ame Vutunui. Again, the bar defenders were ball watching.
The Suva football side has secured its first 3 points in the Vodafone Premier League, beating Rewa 3-2 at Ratudakambao Park in Nosuri. Suva led 2-1 at the half-time mark. Bruce and Setareki Hughes combined well in front and scored a goal each for the capital city side, while Kaliova Tuivulu also got a goal in the game. Rewa's goals were scored by Chonetani Baksh and Tevita Waranivalu. In the other match, Lautoka thumped Tavua 5-1 at Churchill Park. Fiji football star Roy Krishna's Wellington Phoenix held Western Sydney Wanderers 1-1 in the A-League match last night. Phoenix's latest signing, Matija Luic, scored the goal in the second spell of the game. The Suva rugby side were crowned the Fiji Rugby Union Skipper Tuna Tens champions after beating Naitasiri 12 points to 0. However, this is not the end for the players, as the selectors will soon name a national team for the Brisbane Tens competition.
The provincial Tens finished in an epic way, with Suva rugby side crowned the champions of the inaugural competition. Suva defeated Naitasiri 12-0 in the final yesterday.
Suva, the message was just try and control the game and be disciplined in all phases of the game.
Naitasiri, who had an outstanding performance throughout the day, fell short when it mattered the most.
Fatigue caught up in the end. 9 games, we were unbeaten up until the final, so proud of the way the boys managed themselves.
The players knew there is more to achieve apart from winning the final.
As for the boys, I told them that individual play won't help us. As for selectors, only see that teams that are moving forward and just play our game and let the selectors do whatever and choose.
The Fiji Rugby Union will soon name a team to take part in Brisbane Tens that will be held next month in Australia. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Fiji Airways national men's sevens coach Gareth Baber is impressed with the new players who are part of the camp preparing for Sydney and Hamilton tournaments. Baber says players like Eronisau and Apete Naveta have been outstanding in the training so far. He says there is a stiff competition within the players and he will have a tough job naming the final team.
There's an increase in the group in terms of the competition levels that we can do in training, and obviously that gives me slight headaches going into competition as well and selecting those squads.
The Lami Youth Network is turning to sports in an effort to reduce crime in its community. The youth group hosted a 2-day volleyball tournament in Lami to allow young people from different areas of the suburb to interact while being educated on how they can give back to their community. Luciana Tangidakimbao reports.
The younger generation in Lami have given their full backing to this initiative, with the major aim being to help prevent crime.
Benefits Lami in a sense like they will get to know each other more as youth, because it's a big area, it's a big community in which we are trying to get them to know each other more and also to reduce the crime rate here in Lami.
Felipe adds that the association will host other major youth tournaments.
We have canoeing coming up, we have rugby sevens coming up, we have volleyballs. Those are all the plans that we have for Lami youths. Not only are we focusing on just one sport, but we're focusing on many sports.
Meanwhile, Fiji Sports Commission CEO Peter Macy says the government fully supports community initiatives as such.
Community youth development is the big push this year. Government gave substantial funding for community sports programs right around the country. So we've been organising training sessions first.
The Lami Youth Network volleyball tournament will end tomorrow at Suvavo grounds. Luciana Tangidakimbao, FBC Sports.
Being unable to contest an official lead-up fixture for the first time in his 13 Australian Open campaigns, Rafael Nadal had to take matters in his own hands. Occasional rain, heavy at times and few thunderstorms was experienced over most places today. A trough of low pressure with the associated cloud and rain remains slow-moving over the Fiji group. It is expected to affect the group until later Tuesday. Now looking in the west, humid and cloudy conditions with heavy showers were experienced in the afternoon. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, cloudy with heavy showers. Temperatures remains cool at around 27 degrees. And up north, cloudy with showers, heavy at times. At sea, moderate to fresh east to northerly winds, moderate to rough seas. Now for the tides, low tide will be at 12:30 tomorrow morning with high tide at 6:39. Sunrise will be at 5:42. For tomorrow, occasional rain, heavy at times and few thunderstorms over most places. Localized heavy falls may lead to flash flooding of low-lying areas. Looking further on to Tuesday, Some showers and isolated thunderstorms over Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, the Lau and Lomaiviti group, the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms are expected. Recapping the main stories, ATS seeks legal opinion on dividends paid to ATSET. Heavy rain causes flash flooding in the Western Division. And tender awarded to remove sunken vessel. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, should officers who abuse police vehicles be charged? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टकटाबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.